Hey, welcome to more Affinity in Modern. This hand looks fine. I'll keep it and play with it. Sorry if I sound a bit groggy. I just woke up a few minutes ago and decided that I would record a league. So I'm going to GP Oklahoma City later this week. So I figure I should get some practice in. Hopefully it goes well. Not sure what the metagame is like over in Oklahoma City. So we'll see if it's anything like this or Scalding Tarn. Part of me wants to think that this is Storm that I'm playing against. If it's Storm, they go turn 2 cost reducer. Yeah, this is probably Storm. I think any like Blue Moon or something like that type interactive deck would have had, you know, stuff to do to the Steel Overseer. No, maybe not. Maybe he was just planning on not taking damage from his lands. Mm. Well, here's hoping I can race him down before he through the breaches an Emrakul or plays a Splinter Twin type Kiki Jiki Pestermite combo. People are playing all sorts of nonsense with these blue-red decks nowadays. Hmm. Sure. That is an effective use of mana right there. Terrifying. Playing the Memnite now, just in case he does something with his mana that makes me want to sacrifice a bunch of stuff to Ravager. It's super unlikely, but hey. Giving him tiny bits of information, not gonna ultimately change this. I didn't record any videos with it, but I played a fair amount of the Hardened Scales version of Affinity recently. My conclusion is that it does feel more powerful than the regular Affinity at times, but it is a lot less consistent. So, if you're looking for something that does crazy stuff with Hangerback Walker and Walking Ballista, the Hardened Scales version is actually pretty good. Yep. But, it being super inconsistent, maybe that's not what you really want to do. I feel a Through the Breach coming. How bad is Breached Emrakul for me? I'm at 21. Alright, so I Galvanic Blast his face. And then I'll sacrifice my lands, and probably this, and this. That leaves the most damage in play. Move the +1/+1 counter to the Signal Pest. Certainly those two. Let's see, so if I sacrifice this to the Signal Pest, then I do 5. Whereas if I sacrifice this, I do 4, but I have a Ravager in play. think 4, but with a Ravager in play is good enough, since he'll end up at 3. This protects me from an Electrolyze, basically. Of course, I need him to not have more stuff, but, you know, for taking an Emrakul hit, it's pretty good. Galvanic Blast would be amazing here. Well, I guess I'm praying that he has no, Lightning Bolt. No! Alright. Blink Moth Nexus, let's get there. Imagine if I had drawn the Blink Moth first. I'm just going for it. I don't have enough artifacts to make the Etch Champion a viable plan. I can't just wait forever while he potentially draws, you know. Through the Breach. Miracle. That pull from tomorrow. Alright, now I can just... Come on, Darksteel Citadel. That'd be so nice. This game's pretty close. Sadly, when they're this low, the lines are not particularly interesting. It's just jam whatever you got and hope you get there at some point. But him looting away with that Desperate Lighthouse... doesn't look good. Interesting. If I wait for one more mana or one more artifact, Etch Champion is protection from everything. But I feel the clock is definitely running out. I don't feel like I have the luxury of waiting for ideal circumstances. Not when I'm at 7 against some burn deck that's looting away with a Desolate Lighthouse. And he is a Cryptic anyways. Snap bolt me down to 2. Alright, so I need him to not have any burn in his hand. And then I need to draw... Okay, well... that was close, got him to 2. Just a little bit too slow. Against his deck, Thoughtseize. Etch Champion is actually not all that incredible. Switch on Thoughtseize for Galvanic Blasts, and... Could keep the last one as a little bit of reach, or I could put in an Etch Champion. I'll go for the Etch Champion. The Galvanic Blast. Their deck, I think, runs Blood Moon often enough that I'm more likely to get Blood Mooned by them than the other way around. Don't like Rest in Peace against Snapcaster decks. Oh yes, this is perfect. can run out the cranial plating on turn 1 so he can't counterspell it with a ceremonious rejection. Yeah. That's obnoxious. Well, I'm gonna regret taking out... Oh, he probably has Staticasters too. I'm gonna regret taking out that thing. Yeah, I think I'll put some Galvanic Blasts back in for Lavamancers and Staticaster potentials. No! No! Oh, that was my way to win. Now there's this stupid Grim Lavamancer that I can't do anything about. It's definitely the right play for him there. Because if he hadn't, then I could just instant speed equip to any of these things in response to him, you know, blowing something up. And I would do a ton of damage and put him to close enough to dead. Now he gets to kill one of my guys per turn for the rest of the game. Ugh. Him not having a land drop, though, is super good for me. He might actually run out of Lavamancer fuel. That's a thing that can happen. Well, all my stuff's on board, so it doesn't really matter when I time it. Is he actually trading the Lavamancer? Sweet. Kinda curious why I didn't kill Signal Pass, but I guess he wanted to trade first. Maybe he's killing the False Scourge. Right. I don't feel too bad. He only got one Lavamancer activation out. Oh, and he's still stuck on 2 lands. I guess I'll do a Steel Overseer and attack with everything. The poison damage, both poison and physical are valid ways to kill him. So, the only way for me to play the Steel Overseer and attack with everything is to run it out pre-combat. And I do want to attack with everything, because now he's, you know, very close to dead in both directions. Hey, we get there. Yeah, Edge Champion is a bit slow against his deck, and I do want Galvanic Blasts. Not like that. There's an argument for cutting a Steel Overseer, because he's probably got lots of removal, but... Ugh. I don't like this hand. Do I like it to the point of wanting to mulligan it, is the question. It's very slow, but it does have a ton of reach. I think I'll keep. But I'll think I keep, because your average 6 is probably worse than this. Because this does have the ability to play our spells, and it has, you know, Memnites and Ravager. But if this was a cranial plating or something, I'd be happier. But double Galvanic Blast can definitely... Oh, hey, cranial plating, how you doing? Man, I could draw in Mox Opal next turn and go to town. That'd be amazing. Double Galvanic Blast, though, it provides so much reach, people think, like, yeah, I'll go down to 8 or something, and then you just throw 2 blasts at their face. They're just, oh, well, I'm dead then. It's like the person who counts to make sure that they're safe against burn, and then the burn player actually has 2 Boros charms, and that throws off the math. They're just like, eh, screw you, that's bullshit. I'd rather he do a thing to the Memnite before he knows that I'm playing a Ravager this turn. Because he can always do whatever he would do in response to the Ravager. Sometimes I actually do my spells pre-combat, despite knowing it gives him more information to make options, because he still doesn't know my hand. And I feel like the information that I present by playing whatever spell it is incentivizes him to make a play that's bad with the context of my hand, not just the context of the board. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but it's a thing. So I'll just get in with a Memnite and play another Raptor. Using a Snapcaster spell snare, that'd be obnoxious. Kind of would have, if I could have guaranteed resolved a spell that turn, I think I would have preferred the cranial plating to resolve, but I didn't know it would definitely resolve. Anger of the Gods. I can sacrifice everything to keep my Ravager alive. Or I can lose all my creatures. No, actually, sorry. Much better. Sacrifice that to the Ravager, sacrifice Ravager to itself. And this way I get to keep a 2/4 Ornithopter. Significantly better. Hooray for Ornithopter having 2 toughness. I think I'll go Signal past Springleaf Drum. And hold up, and then next turn I'll be able to do Cranial Plating Equip in the same turn. So our opponent's at 12, but we really only need to do 4 more damage before we can just double Galvanic Blast them out of existence. And our opponent did not immediately breach Emrakul, which is a good sign, because if they had breached Emrakul that turn, we would have lost. Snapcaster Spell Snare is actually kind of fine with me. Now if they don't kill the Ornithopter, which they're unlikely to, we're quite close to having lethal next turn. I just need to dodge, like, breach Emrakul for 1 more turn. Grim Lavamancer, okay. I sort of give up the jig, but I'm just gonna do this now so that I can definitely cast it next turn, because I didn't know I would draw the 1 mana or 0 mana spell to enable both colored sources to work. Now he's gonna Electrolyze. Alright, 1 and 1. I think he's pretty dead. So I attack him for 2 damage. And a Galvanic Blast for lethal. I was debating whether I should run out that before the Galvanic Blast, but I don't think it matters. Hey, we got there. Galvanic Blast of the Dome does the job. Cool. See you next match.